Awesome. Okay, so I know Kat's on, Crystal's on, we got Angela. I just kind of posted the tag everyone, so we might have a few people join in, which would be awesome. And let me make sure, I think we're recording. Yes, we are recording, so we should be good to go with posting a replay today. So, and Kat, you said you're muted, I think. So if you need to talk, there's that chat option. I don't know if you know how to use that, but we've had a couple people use that before. And Crystal, are you muted, or can you talk?
Testing. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I'm assuming you can hear me.
Yes.
No issues this time.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and jump in. And I'm really excited about this. And hey, who just joined in? Let's see, 518-4207. I don't know who that is. Oh, we lost Crystal.
And we gained Kat.
I think we gained Crystal by phone. Okay. And Kat, thanks for coming on. So we're going to go ahead and jump in, and then that way we can get the replay posted too. And I want to use every second of the 30 minutes. So we're, these Zoom calls are for new consultants and consultants wanting to grow from where they're at. And we follow the 4 trainings with the My Recipe for Success. And so class number 2 is host coaching. And over working with everyone on our team and kind of talking to people, I realized, and myself this month, really working on feeling like I have a better handle on a good virtual party. So I think I've already closed 4 or 5, and we've got another 3 that we just started. So we're doing quite a few this month. And so I felt like, a gap that we're missing as a team is virtual host coaching, because I'm really good with host coaching and having a good system. And we've done a couple of the calls with you guys about that, but I feel like there are a couple key components that are different with the virtual host coaching that if you're not doing, you're not getting necessarily the results you're looking for. And Angela's really good at it. I know Mac's been doing virtual parties. Kat, you've done a lot of virtual parties. Emily's been doing quite a few. So in our team, our new consultants are starting and doing virtual parties very quickly. So I wanted to get this call, and then we're going to record it. So ask questions if you can, if you're not muted, or if you can't ask questions, please, because this is an area where I'm still a new person at it too. So I may not even know what the good questions are, but I'm going to let Angela take it away and kind of share what she does. And then we'll ask questions, and then we'll share this call for everyone else too. So go ahead, Angela.
Okay. So we'll pretend like you're on the phone with me. First of all, just like a regular cooking show, I'll set up a specific time to talk on the phone. I know that's weird because you're used to messaging people sometimes on Facebook, but I encourage still having that one phone call, no matter what, and you can check in with them periodically between that with Messenger or text or whatever they're preferring, but I do require at least one phone call. So this is, Tammy, just for your knowledge, since you just jumped in, we're just talking about host coaching for virtual parties. So after we've set up that phone call, I ask them to have their catalog in front of them. And just like a regular host coaching call, I'll start with, I'm so excited for your party, and let's go over their wish list and get a good idea of some of the things that they'd like to earn for free. And then it doesn't matter if you do groups or events, and there's a lot of debate, but it really doesn't matter. But I do personally use groups, and I will explain to them that, I'm really excited about your Facebook party and helping you get the free product that you would like. And we can an average, Facebook party can be just as successful as a cooking party as long as you work with me. And it's easy because you can be in your pajamas or you can do it at your specific time frame. But I do still need you to do a few things that I would have you do even if it was a cooking party. If we want results just like a cooking party, I ask you to listen to me just like those hosts would do. Are you okay with that? Yes. And then, so then I say, the biggest thing with a Facebook party, in my opinion, is inviting. So if we were having a cooking show, I would ask you to invite 40 people into your home and tell you that 20 will probably say yes. And then the day of, you might end up with 12 to 15. The same thing I recommend for these Facebook parties. So I recommend that you personally invite 40 people, and we'll talk about how to invite in just a second. Assuming that you personally invite individually 40 people, we're going to go for a goal to get 20 people to say yes, just like for a cooking show. With those 20 people saying yes, I expect that instead of the 5 saying the day of, they're not going to actually come. I'm going to expect 5 to just not really bother to check in. That's totally fine, but those numbers will get you close to $1,000 party. Does that sound good? Yes. Okay. So when it comes to inviting, I have found that I personally don't like to get thrown into a group. I personally don't like getting group messages because it keeps going ding, 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 ding. So I highly encourage you to individually message or text or pick up the phone and call 40 people. And you can use the same words with each person. And I'm going to actually provide you with a sample of what those words can look like and what has been successful for other hosts of mine. And then once you have those, so it's pretty simple to just copy and paste in an individual message, but it will go a lot further if you actually invite them individually. I'm sorry. And then, so does that sound good to you? Yes. Okay. So as long as you're in agreement with that, then that is our goal. And what we're going to do is I'm going to have you invite those 40 people, and then I'm going to touch base with you. And and that's usually going to be via private message or Facebook or text or whatever. And we're going to confirm how many of those you have going. Once you have your 20 yeses, then that's when I'm going to create the group for you. And then then after the group is created, you'll be allowed to add those people, those 20 people that you wanted to be a part of this special thing. I found, side note, this isn't on the phone call with them, but I found by reiterating those numbers over and over again, that's their expectation, that's what they need to do. And then when I receive the text message, if I don't hear back from them on the specific date, then I'll say, I'm just checking in with you. How many people have you heard back from? How many people are saying yes or maybe? And then they'll respond. And if they've only gotten like 10 or 12, then I'll say, let's try to get a few more. Can you get that done in like the next 24 hours for me or something like that? And then the other thing that I'm going to highly encourage you to do as the host, and you'll see a big difference if you do this, is if you could look, well, we've already established from their wish list, et cetera, what they have in their kitchen that's Pampered Chef that they love, or if they don't know anything. But if they have a product, if they have, say, 3 or 4 products, I'm going to say each day you're more than welcome to post an actual picture of that product that you love and maybe how you use it and what you love about it. Or if you're really brave and you really want higher sales, then I encourage you to make a quick video. It can be like 30 seconds, but show us something in action, because I'm going to tell you that if I tell everybody in this party how awesome something is, then they may believe me. But if you tell them how awesome it is, then they will believe you. So that is why I encourage you to participate with the goal that it's going to help you get more free products. And the next Facebook party that we have with you, you might be showing something different. And then I will explain to them that the way to keep on getting discounts is by getting more bookings from this particular party. And I'm going to do some things within the party that are going to touch on helping you get some more bookings. But you are more than welcome to get bookings as you're showing the catalog to people outside of Facebook. So just like with the traditional cooking show, I wouldn't expect that the only orders that you would get would be the people that show up. You're going to have people that you don't want to invite to your house. You're going to have people that you don't want, that maybe aren't, comfortable, or they're far away. The same applies with Facebook. If you have a cousin that you talk to all the time in Florida and they are not on Facebook, but they love to cook, why wouldn't they want to order some Pampered Chef to support you? Those are people you can call. If maybe you don't want your favorite nurse at the doctor's office to be on your Facebook and you don't want to be friends with them, that's a person that you can show the catalog to. But I'm going to encourage you to get some orders outside of just the Facebook party itself as well. So I find that sometimes with Facebook parties, people think, well, the only people that would order are the people that I invite on Facebook. But that's not necessarily true. You can get orders from people, your grandma, if you're going to go see her next weekend, just bring the catalog because she might not be on Facebook. And then I will ask them if they have any questions about inviting people. And they're usually like, well, what's that message that you're going to send me? And then as soon as I'll let them know, as soon as I'm hanging up on the phone, I'm going to be sending you the sample words and a little invitation. And I actually use our postcard and take a picture of it and just write, instead of the location, I just write Facebook. And on the date, I'll put the 7 days of the party that it's going to last. So March 5th through the 11th or 12th or whatever it is. I also explain to them that it's very important for you as the host to not get discouraged. I want you to understand that if we were in a cooking show at your house, that I would not expect people in the middle of cooking to come and place their order. That just wouldn't happen. They would wait until the end. The same thing goes with a Facebook party. Oftentimes, I'm not saying that you won't have orders beforehand or throughout the middle, which is fine. It's awesome if you do. But, and I will post things in the party that will allow people to understand that they can modify their orders throughout the process. But in all fairness, usually all of the orders are going to come in at the end of the party, just like they would in a cooking show, because people want to see everything that I have to show them, and they want to get prizes and things like that. So do not be discouraged. I promise you that's totally normal for the last 24 to 48 hours for your orders to really start flowing in. One thing that I will tell you is we're going to say that the Facebook party ends on, say, the 11th. You and I are actually probably not going to close it until the 13th. The reason that we do that is because I like to say the last day to order is this, and then that's when everybody's like, oh my goodness, I need my order. Can I still order? And in those last 24 hours, even though they have a deadline, people are still going to be wanting to order. And then also that gives you 24 hours for the people that were commenting a lot and we're really excited about a product to go ahead and send them a private message or pick up the phone and call them and ask them, hey, did you have fun in this party? Did you learn anything new? And if they, just a reminder, we are closing the party out. I wasn't sure if you had a chance to order, if there was something that you would like. But I find that setting the expectation with them that they're not going to be getting the orders in the beginning is a little bit helpful to them, that they're not like, well, this thing isn't going very well. I don't have any orders yet. I want them to feel like this is a normal process. And it is quite honestly what usually happens. So I have contemplated, and I'm probably going to be working on this for the next few people that I host coach, to actually even make it more like a cooking show, in that if they have 5 pre-orders before the Facebook party starts from those outside sources, that I will offer an extra prize for them, because I feel more confident when people have orders when you start something. So I can't tell you that works or not, but that is my personal goal, because I'd like to see more come in the front. It'll make both them and myself feel more confident. And then I do still offer them the option, as we're doing this Facebook party, I want you to kind of pay attention to what I'm doing and see if this is something that you could see yourself doing, because you'll notice that I'm doing this whenever it's convenient for me. And if you see that this is something that, if you're on Facebook anyway, and this is fun, and why not make some extra money? On a $1,000 show, we'll typically make about $200 in cash. So if you would like to aim to do what I am doing, and maybe get a couple $100 here and there and get some free product, then pay attention. And then will say something like, does that sound something that you'd be interested in? And usually in the beginning, they're like, well, I don't know, whatever. Sometimes they may say yes. And if they're like, well, I don't know, I'm busy. Well, then I might go into the fact that I want you to pay attention within this Facebook group. A lot of the posts are gonna have a little stamp next to them, next to the time, that are gonna say send share. I'm not actually posting all those posts. I actually have a program that I can put the entire outline into all of my virtual parties at one particular time, and it will automatically post them for me. So I am busy just like you, and that's kind of why I like this Facebook world, because I can set it all up. I can work for an hour and have 5 things going on instead of spending all day on Facebook. So I hope that helps you. And we'll revisit this as the process, or like as the party goes on. So and then that's about it. And then I'll say, no, I don't want to keep you very long. I just really, really want you to focus on the inviting part, because that is how we're going to have fun. And in another thing that I want you to pay attention to is, while we're in this group, I want you to envision that we're standing in your kitchen. Okay. So if we were all standing together at a party in your kitchen, and you had one person hanging out in the corner and they really weren't like paying much attention, or they were talking off to the side, you and I would want to bring them back in. We don't want them to miss out on the fun and the cooking. We don't want them to miss out on the tips that I might be teaching. The same thing in the process of this Facebook party. If you see someone that's not really participating, but that they are interested in cooking, that's a good person to tag. If you say, if I post something about salads and they're a healthy eater, pull that person back into our party, have them be a part of the fun in the kitchen, and bring out something like, oh, Sally, you're really good at eating healthy. Is this something that you could use? And leave it a question. And then that will allow that person to feel welcome and back into the party. Our goal is to make this feel as much like a kitchen show as possible, but to be able to use the Facebook as the vehicle. So does that sound good? Yes or no? And then we'll, any questions that they have, then we'll go ahead and go through that. But I truly personally believe that making the host coaching as similar to a cooking show as possible is the best way. And the things that are successful in our cooking party is the inviting part that we all talk about, how important that is. And I want to make sure that they do that individually instead of as a giant group message, which I've had happen when I first started, and it's beyond annoying. So you guys have any questions?
I wrote a bunch down, but I want to give you guys a chance to ask them first. So Kat, you said you're good. Tammy, I know you're muted right now, but do you have any questions you can come on for? And Crystal, feel free to ask if you have some.
I don't have anything just yet, but it's a lot of great information. I can say that.
Okay. And Crystal, what about you? I know she said, go ahead.
I'm don't really have any questions at the moment, but it was a lot of information to take in.
Okay. Awesome. And if you're not in a position to be taking notes, then definitely rewatch this. So my questions were, after the first call, how much do you interact with the host? And is it through Facebook and text at that point, or what do you do with that?
For the most part, after that, I prefer, if it's a Facebook party, to communicate via Facebook Messenger, because obviously we're already friends, but I also like to see that they're seeing my messages. And most of the time throughout the party, I might send like a quick reminder if I haven't seen them post something about one of their favorite products, like, oh my goodness, which product are you going to post about first yourself? So, and then I might, a day or two later, I might send them a private message along the lines of, I know that we haven't covered, say, the knives that were on your wish list yet, or whatever. But I wanted to let you know, we're still going to be covering that. Was there any other product that's kind of piqued your interest that you want me to focus on more? I follow a specific outline, but if there's a person that really wants to know about the Rock Crock collection, then I might throw an extra random, like a blog thing from we got a really good blog article about what makes a Rock Crock different than other cookware, and I might post that article. But that's about throughout the party. I'm just, if it's going great and stuff, and there might be 3 days, 4 days I don't talk to them. If it's not, then I might message them a little bit more.
Okay. And like, how many prizes do you give away on a party, or what kind of prizes do you typically do?
Okay, so that's a great question. I love Charlotte and the guys' video of all the products under $10. And when I post in my parties, I like some people's outlines, but I change them a little bit to be more question and answer oriented, because I want people to comment and to really see it. And the more people comment, the more it shows up in their newsfeed. So, after the roll call, I generally get a lot of participation there. And then one of the other first posts that gets a lot of feedback is all that video of $10 and under products. And so I will, the question I ask is like, if you could get any product for free from this video, which first forces them to watch the video and comment, then what would you pick? And so then I'll have them list. So people will comment like, oh, I'd really like the toaster tongs, or I'd really like the ice cream scoop, or I'd really like whatever. But that gets people interacting on those $10 and under products. So I actually do one drawing just exclusively for the drawing slip. And that's usually like a $2 Season's Best or something, inexpensive. And then I do a second drawing that I call the grand prize drawing, and I actually I encourage them that there may be a drawing later, and then so I look at that. If somebody had they really wanted an ice cream scoop and they happen to win, then that is going to be their prize. So they're going to be ecstatic because it's a prize that they already said that they wanted. If the person hasn't answered that, but they happen to win, I'll pick something probably like, I don't know, in the $7 to $8 range. Maybe I give away too much, but I like to give one nice grand prize because that's my way to interact with them. And then I found that even if someone wasn't purchasing previously, but they end up winning, that I actually am able to then pick up the phone and call them and say, oh my goodness, you've won, or private message them, you have to give me a quick call so I can find out what you want and how to get it to you. And then I've gotten bookings from that, just somebody who hadn't ordered a single thing but ended up booking a show. Well, I'd be happy to give away an ice cream scoop for someone who's then having a cooking show in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So that was worth it to me. And I do offer both cooking and virtual parties. So I will comment, throughout the party, something about the fact that you can not only do a Facebook party like this, but I also am looking for cooking parties and kids parties, and we have a wedding registry, et cetera now. So I don't want them to be limited in thinking that they can only do a Facebook party, because I do both. But if I only did Facebook parties, then I wouldn't obviously offer that part.
Awesome. And then, okay. Do you friend request or message all the guests at any point, like even after the party's over?
I don't personally. I am friends with the host, and I will friend request some of them, especially the ones that I private message. Now, I have heard high success with playing a game, which I haven't found one that I'm comfortable yet with. There's one out there that's like a clue game or whatever, but it actually requires them to send you a message to get a private message. So they don't have to be your friend.
Yeah.
They don't have to be your friend, but then they'll start seeing your messages once you're friends through Messenger, even though you're not friends on Facebook. So I have looked into that. I haven't personally done it yet, but I could see where that would be positive, because then you would have a line of
Do you,
communication.
because I've seen this too, do you like, if you're not friend requesting them or like private messaging all of them, do you like have a post or ask them to join like a VIP group or like your business page? Do you do that?
Yes, if they get in one of, I only do, some people do a guessing game every minute, and I really don't love 100 guessing games.
Yeah.
But I do think that a couple, 2 to 3 of them encourage interaction, and the more interaction, the more people see your posts. And the one that I do says that you get an extra guest if you have liked my business, my Facebook group, my VIP group or whatever. And then, so that is one that when I do like to use, because then I do get quite a few people that I feel like those are the ones that want to stay in contact anyway.
Right.
But like I said, I do a separate drawing just for filling out the Google slip. So with that Google slip, I have their phone number, I have their, and not everybody fills it out, but but at least the people that really want to win a prize, that may really want free product, are filling that out. And I would say probably get about 5 or so, maybe 7 sometimes of those drawing slips. So the chance, so somebody's winning something, and I think
Tammy said on her launch that she got like 13, which it would have been, her friends, but still, like, yeah, I think that Google slip, if you're not doing it for some reason, like, that's a huge part of the virtual party.
There have been people that within the party would not say that they wanted to book a party, but on the drawing slip, they said that they wanted to do a party. So I found that was very helpful. I wouldn't have known that. And so I don't mind giving away a special prize just for that. And because of virtual, I always put the prize in the guest cart, assuming that they had ordered, and that will help the host get a little bit higher of a sale. And sometimes it's helped me get a higher order out of the person. So say the person that won the prize spent $55 and I'm putting a $10 ice cream scoop on there. Now they're at $65. Sometimes the whole Michael Reeves, it says, what else? Like, I'm like, well, you realize that you're close to getting the free gift this month, which would be another item. Was there anything else that you'd be interested in?
Awesome. So you would message them that if they were the ones? Okay.
Oh yeah. Anybody that wins, I definitely message with them just to say, I'm really excited that you won. And I'll put in the comments. So I do go Facebook Live at the very beginning and at the very end of the show. That's not a requirement, but I do feel like it builds a relationship with the guest. They have a face and then to put with the name. And a lot of times my kid will be in it, and I'll say something like, I'm really excited about this business because my daughter, she loves to, help me with it, and it's flexible, and I can let her be a part of the business. And we talk about it being a family thing sometimes. And then at the end, I always let her help me with the drawings. And then we talk about, and I will say in the last live video, the second of the 2, I'll say something like, as I'm, oh my gosh, it was about what you just said. The winners are blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to send you a private message to let you know what you won. Or if it's something that I know they already won and you won the ice cream scoop, just send me a quick message to confirm that's still good, or something like that.
Okay.
So it does encourage that interaction, at least.
And so your Facebook Live is to introduce yourself at the beginning and then to do the drawings at the end.
Mm-hmm. And in the beginning, I talk about my why, just like if it was a cooking party. It's like my intro is about 3 minutes and my close is about 3 minutes. And so my intro is going to be, why I started. I basically use Charlotte Nagai's intro post, but just do it
Facebook Live. Sure.
Like, I started this business for this purpose, and now it's this to me. And what I love about it, and I try to touch on the 4 fun, flexible finances, the 4 F's or whatever. And then I tell them my goal is for every party, whether it's a cooking party or a Facebook party, for everybody to have fun and learn something new. So if there's, so my goal is for some of these posts to make you giggle, and some of them to make you have fun, and some of them to teach you a new recipe or something you might not normally try in the kitchen. So.
And do you have an outline you read or follow, or have you just done it enough you kind of say the same thing or something similar?
It's pretty similar. I mean, it might vary. And I do, oftentimes I'll say, now, Alicia and we've never actually even met, which is the beauty of this business, is that I can meet new people virtually across the country or whatever, to kind of let them kind of pre-cover that fear of how would I get bookings type of thing.
Sure. Okay. Awesome. And I know we're over on time, but if you guys who are on need to go, just hang up. And there were 2 more questions I have. Now, one thing I did with I think with all of the ones I just closed is I did text all the guests and just said, like, your order will be in 5 to 7 days. If you're interested in doing a party, have you ever done that? Or responses from some, like, so,
No, I haven't. So that's good feedback.
Okay.
I normally just send it to the host.
Okay. And then do you do anything additional for bookings? Like, are you just getting your bookings from your post and talking to your host and then the Google survey slip, or do you do anything additional to help get bookings?
I really like that that graphic that's a picture of a gift with the bows, and I post that. And then if people, and the other thing, that reason why I like groups is because if there's a post that's important to me, that, like, if it's about bookings or if it's about like the business or whatever, and I'm not seeing a lot of response on it, I will kind of bump that to the top by putting in a question in the comments so that people see it a second time or a third time. And then if I'm not getting any bites on the little booking picture with the bows on it, then I'll tag the host in that one, and I will ask her, who do you think would have the most fun party, or who do you think would want some free product or whatever. Or if there's someone who's like been commenting on like the executive cookware or whatever, then I might tag them in that post. This is how you could get the executive cookware and help host so-and-so get their product at half off. Do you want to set a date or something? So I do like to keep that towards the top of the party, like, of the post.
Okay, awesome. And then the last question I had was kind of the same thing for recruiting, because I had seen a lot of people say that they started going Facebook Live to answer recruiting questions, which it sounds like you go at the beginning and the end, but, like, are you just making a post and getting them to ask you questions, or what do you do to create interaction on the show for that?
That's actually an area that I would like to improve. I talked a lot with Beth,
Barker or Baker or something. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Barrett, I think. I talked a lot with her about that, and she said she pretty much almost all of her recruits are her host. So that's why I've been focusing on that part in the host coaching. I've heard people that are getting on their Google drawing slip that they're interested in the business. I personally have not had that happen yet. So that is an area, which is why I personally am still doing both virtual and cooking shows, because I feel like it's easier to get someone to join my team with the cooking show than it is virtually. So I'm working on that personally, and I like the idea. I've done a little bit of research into it on doing a live Q&A about the business, and I may switch to that at some point. I just need to, have more information still.
Okay. All right. That was all my questions. So awesome. And I love, actually, it's kind of interesting and funny because I have struggled with, like, getting these shows the way I want them. But you've basically just repeated all my host coaching back to me, only how much it's virtual. So I kind of liked that. But I love how much you're relating to your host, that it like a cooking show, because I've never done that. And I think that would be helpful for me to, kind of get it a little bit better. So I like how you're doing that, and I wouldn't have thought to do that, because so I do like that. And I think it was all really, really helpful. So I'm going to make sure we get this posted and make sure if you're friends with somebody on our team, like, to tell them how much you learned and
There's a couple questions in the comments. Tammy said, I had 18 fill out the form and I had 4 say they were interested in booking that did not express interest elsewhere. So again, another reason to do the Google form. And then Kat said, what is the best timeline to do the host coaching before the party for virtual shows? When do you start it? So that's a great question, Kat. I actually, with a cooking show, I'll often do the host coaching a little further out. With the virtual party, I would say it's usually about 7 to 15 days before the party happens. And then give them I've messaged them back and forth and stuff before that, but we actually talk on the phone probably about 10 days usually before they're, like this week, I'm working on my April parties that start the middle of April or the first week of April, but we'll talk on the phone then for the host coaching. And that gives them, because I don't want people added to the group too early, but I want them to work on for about 5 days inviting people. And I find if you give people less time to invite, that they actually will do it all right away because it's like a shorter period of time. And then with the intention that I let them know that my goal is to have it starting on a Sunday because that's my day that I do it. So I'm going to need all the confirmed yeses or nos by like Thursday or Friday. And then if they need an extra day till Saturday, that gives us that extra day. And then I don't put them in the group until, I don't let them invite anyone until they actually have invited, because otherwise they're not doing anything. Why should I?
Oh, and I really liked that. That was actually one of the big things that stood out to me the last time we talked about this. Okay. Well, I know we're over on time, but thank you so much for all of that because it really, really was awesome. And, if you can post in the comments, I know we already did a post and Max shared some good pictures for getting bookings too. So the one with the gifts with the bows, and then she put one with hearts. That was super cute. So that's on our team page right now. And I can try to bump it up so it's closer to this post. And then if you can post your word choices that you share with your host again under the Zoom call for inviting people, because I know that's been shared a couple times, but like if we can tie it to this training, that would be great.
Like how to invite.
Inviting. Yeah.
Okay.
If you can put
I thought
that
you meant verbatim.
just so it's all together, because on our team page stuff gets old and it's hard to find. Anything else you guys want her to share under the comments so it's all together that she's talked about. Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks for joining us. I hope you guys learned a lot, and we will see you next Wednesday. So I'm going to stop the recording and then end the meeting too.